persons coming into the country from Central America were being charged by officers $120 at the border in the western border. Can you please speak to us about what has been done to address this information that I gave to you?
Prior to your contacting me, we had a similar complaint from another statutory body in Belize, and the failure to address that situation resulted from the fact that the persons who made the complaint would not give a name. That is very important. If I am to take any action, I need to have a name of that person who crossed the border. I don't have to pass that information to my officers. I can verify that information myself. If one Mark Lizarraga crossed the border and he had that experience, if he comes in, he provides his name, I can verify that he did cross the border at that day and time, and I'm able to determine who was the officer that processed him to come into the country. We can then work back from there. On receipt of those two complaints, I spoke to the officer in charge at the border at that time, and I said to him that these were consistent complaints we were getting. We had heard those complaints from other persons before. He assured me that nothing was happening. Recently, I was made privy to the fact that there was something indeed happening. The Ministry of Tourism, which covers the border management, and the tourism officer at the border have since, I think, dismissed a couple of their workers who they found to have been involved in what was happening there. I don't know that any of those persons have specifically indicated in their interviews whether or not an immigration officer was involved, but I have been shown some footage which would need to be investigated further to see whether or not indeed an immigration officer was involved in what was actually happening. But there was a process there where they were able to determine that some persons were collecting money.